Hello, this is Adam with our fourth day of the Sacral Chakra Healing Camp, and let's talk about the origins of the Sacral Chakra. The Sanskrit name for it is something that I will not even attempt to pronounce because I will butcher it that bad. I will put in the cards. It's a crazy Sanskrit word, but the antithesis of this chakra is something that every single culture has somewhere, and this one is just that one. There is an energy that drives us for our creativity, our passions, our presentness in our own body, and our sexual feelings, and how it all connects to each other in every single culture. This one has found to be this one because the placement of this chakra, which is right below your belly button, is where the reproductive organs for the most part are going to be. So when you are, with ovaries and testicles and all of that, all of those kinds of working parts go through that area somewhere. 2 inches right underneath your belly button. But it also is associated with the liver and all of that. It's everything fluid. So this is why the water is the element for this chakra, because everything in that area is fluid. It's becoming clear, and this is where a lot of people are passionate about. People are passionate about sex and their sexual ambiguity and their feelings and all of this. So when this thing is blocked, there's no wonder why you have a issue with your passions, an issue with spreading your feelings, your enjoyment of many of things, and your sensuality, is because this chakra is blocked. The color orange. Why is it orange of all colors? The reason for it is because orange has the widest length of different variations, but it's all named the same thing. It's all orange. So it could be a red orange, it could be a yellow orange, and everything in between. It's fluid. And also, as you're rising up through your body, the coolness of it becomes less and less animalistic, if I could say any kind of word to associate it with these chakras, especially down below, because it's your basic instinct, your basic animalistic instinct, where you are connected to Mother Earth the most, and Earth is very warm in tone. So as you drop down throughout your body, it gets warmer and warmer and warmer. So that is why when we go up to the crown is why it's like a violet purple. Because as you go down, it's not so much of a conscious state, it's of a subconscious state. The crescent moon shape that is associated with this chakra as well is incredibly important, because it is the start of a new cycle, for the most part, because then you start seeing more and more of it. So it's almost like a rebirth of the moon. And the moon is very important to the theories of chakras, because depending on the orientation and the stages of the moon, it might be better for a person who has a very close particular chakra to meditate in that circumstance. The petals of the lotus, they are 6. There's going to be more and more petals as we go through, because a lotus opens, and it opens slowly and surely. So as it's opening, the lotus is the representation of you. So we started off with 4 petals for the root chakra, and now we jump to 6 because you're opening up more and more to find your inner peace. The seed sound is a vang, because it's a different frequency, it's a different hertz, and it makes you feel that, passion and the right to feel, to want. Nothing wrong with that. which is why the development of this is around 6 months to 2 years old, because that is when you start feeling this passion and stuff like that. Generally, a lot of people have issues with this during their adolescence and into puberty because they're starting to find out about their sexuality. So, kids are moody, especially in that age. They get moody, and that is the reason for it. So when this chakra is opened, there's a big passion. There is a presence in their body. So they know who they are, and they know about who they, based on their sexual orientation as well. They're sensual. Obviously, there's a connection to that sexual presence. For me, I had a moment of confusion for a while. It wasn't anything bad. I just, it was more of like a bisexual curiosity than anything. But this was when I was in college. I was going through so many hormone ups and downs. I can't even remotely describe to you the feeling that I had. Your creative side. I'm an artist. So during that time as well, I felt very non-creative. And a lot of my work really simplified that, because I'm like, wow, this is not me. I don't like this. And being an artist, I really saw that difference. And if you feel that your chakras are closed, the best way to know that is draw, paint, play music, whatever. It doesn't matter. Write a poem. Do a short story. Because it's basically the creativity is the most honest thing in your body currently. So when you feel a difference, there are different drawings and stuff that you can do to discover that, which we'll probably cover in another series as soon as this is done. But the physical association, the womb, the genitals, the kidneys, and the bladder, once again, a motion through the genitalia. The psychological connections, movement, and connection. Once again, it's about that raw animal instinct sexual preference orientation. You need to understand this. You need to understand your sexual identity. You need to understand your creative identity. And it's emotional. There's a lot of emotions when you run through this, because when it becomes imbalanced, especially when you're in puberty or you're about to be, 13, 14, right at the antithesis, there's different feelings. And it's hard to understand, because when you become that age, your conscious mind is, you're trying to figure out what's going on. But during the developmental stages, which is 6 months to 2 years old, it's just an animalistic instinct. It doesn't matter, You don't know what's going on. You feel guilt. This is the challenge. When you are sexually closed off, you're guilty about it. You don't know. And the guilt of not knowing is a conscious reaction to a subconscious chakra blockage. Luckily, there are ways to open it, and in the next video, we'll discuss when you know you've opened it. It is the astral plane. The planets associated with this are Mercury, Jupiter, and the moon. Once again, a lot of it is orientation based around the moon. Mercury, because that is the first planet out there, and when it's totally closed, there's a lot of different astrophysiological stuff in this, and maybe we'll cover it later on why, because there's a lot of theory behind it. The mystical animal, there is not a mystical animal that's 100% associated with this chakra. There are some that people say, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this. I mean, we have not found any kind of significant evidence, because this one is a different feeling chakra, and it's okay if this is, closed. The energy from this chakra is associated of letting go, to move, and to feel change and transformation occurring within your body. It allows you to experience this moment as it is. So, if you're a teenager and this chakra is open, when you're going through it, you don't have a problem. You already know who you are. And as an adult, sometimes it closes, which is why some people act the way they do. It's such a complex chakra. Even like 10 minutes can't even remotely describe, but there's like some origins behind the majority of that. It's really, God, it's so hard to know what it is. This chakra is also blocked by fear, especially of fear of death, because when you die, you want to know your origins. You want to know yourself. The characteristics of the 6 petals as well are molds of consciousness as well. And is a open and close, those things are going to open and close as well. And this one's just uncomfortable to talk about for a lot of people, but honestly, you need to be sexually honest about yourself. This isn't about your gender identity or anything like that, because that's almost a new theory within of itself, and we can get into that as well. Because I think actually a confusion about your own sexual identity is a part of your gender as well, as associated with a blockage in this chakra as well, because of different, suicide rates and and their attitudes and all of that fun stuff. But I don't want to open up that kind of that can of worms as well. So we'll end this video here. I do want to thank you all for listening to my rambling about this chakra. If you did enjoy it, feel free to subscribe and share. Check out all the links down below, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll end it tomorrow.